Do you know who is getting released in America?
Who?
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yes, he is.
It's your boy.
Yes, he is. That's your boy.
It's your boy. He calls into the show because of you.
Not because of me, dude. Not because of me. He calls him, he talks to you. You are the one who knows his secret.
All right.
Shit.
Listen. Now, Drew just said something. He said that I missed some of the names on the top. Yes, I was just throwing random names in. If you go look at the description of the episode, I threw in Avalanche. I threw in XXXtentacion, whatever his name is. Lil Peep, Scott LaRock, BTY Youngin, Bam Bam Carter, Tekashi, and Shy Glizzy. They're the names that I just randomly threw up there, but every one of those artists that I just named are not, they are people that have either been murdered or have been incarcerated. And I also did say, yes, some of these artists, a.k.a. Tekashi 6ix9ine, got what they deserved, But a lot of these artists did not get what they deserved. And it's weird. And let's just get into it. And we talked about it briefly in the beginning, but never has there been a better time for an independent artist to make money in this business than in 2018, 2019, 2017, in these last 2 to 3 years. And, going into the future, of course, I'd like to think that there's no conspiracy, but when I really connected the dots, it's really, really hard to explain the fact that a lot of these record label execs are losing money. And you guys all know that people have been murdered for a lot less. But when you cut out that middleman, which is AKA the record label, and you're just making money on your own, those labels don't want to hear that. That's like stealing from the mafia. Like, you know what I mean? You got to cut out the middleman on fucking Tony the Kimball. You know what I mean? Tony the Kimball ain't going to want to deal with that. Tony Kimball's going to whack your fucking head off. And I really think, this is happening. And because you're seeing a lot of independent artists go down. And it's more than just in hip-hop, but hip-hop's the easier one to go with because that's the one type of genre of music where they have a police force for. You know what I mean? So, It's easier said than done. Now, your Tech Nines, your Insane Clown Posses, people like that have been around for so many years that it would be hard to whack them out. And you can't whack everybody out. Because then it's an automatic conspiracy.
Didn't M already smack them all off?
Well, yeah, this is different.
That's a beef. That's not the same thing.
Well, he actually never went toe to toe with Tech Nine, because him and Tech Nine respect each other.
Yeah, him and Tech Nine are fucking butt buddies.
No.
They like each other.
Well, it might not be that extreme, but
and we're talking about
they're chill. They know what they're capable of, but that would be a hell of a battle.
That would be. That would be under the Nas Eminem battle that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, fuck that. No,
that would have been a great one.
Biggie. I want to see something as Biggie and Tupac, like that type battle.
Right. Yeah, you're never gonna find that.
Never gonna happen.
Here's the thing: the Biggie and Tupac battle, though, that which I think is really hysterical, really only got big because the media blew it out of proportion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is
that
hilarious.
really had nothing to do with anything else. There was no East Coast West Coast drama until the media decided there was East Coast West Coast drama, and then people started selling more records because of it. But what I find really, really interesting about this topic is, once again, people are saying something is new that's been around forever.
It's not that it's new; it's that it's happening more frequent to the point where you can connect.
We're just finding out more we're finding out more frequently. That's all that is. At the end of the day, okay, to be a musician, period, is to live a lifestyle, and to be an independent musician, even more, is to live a lifestyle that is somewhat dangerous. Look, we don't all go play at preschools. These are bars that we play in. This is, people get drunk and rowdy. People, you kick off people. There are always going to be boyfriends of girls that, like us for no apparent reason, and they're going to be mad, and they're going to get their retribution. Yes, is there Is there label shenanigans? There is, but it's not done that way. The label shenanigans
Are
happen.
you sure about that?
I'm positive.
You're positive that nobody in the music business are getting rid of some of these independent artists to make themselves more money?
They don't have to.
You don't think so?
The labels are so powerful. Okay?
But that's the thing. They're losing their power.
No, but they're not, though. Because you had an independent artist a couple of years ago. You had an independent artist have a hit song, and he won a Grammy because of that hit song. And that hit song he'd actually written to try to get signed by Jimmy Iovino. And he won a Grammy for it.
You can't count that.
Listen,
you can't count that at all.
You're not letting me tell the story.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's more to the story. This artist won, and when he won, he gave his speech, and he actually gave credit to the people before him. And he gave credit to the people who should have won because he understood the culture. And what the labels did was they destroyed him in the press, and they buried him. They don't have to resort to the gangster tactics that they had to resort to back in the Phil Graham days. They don't have to resort to the gangster tactic that they had to back in the Suge Knight days. The labels can still bury you in spin. That is the worst.
They can't bury you if you're not signed to them. What are they going to do?
Bury. What did they do to Macklemore?
The story
I'm telling you right now is the story of Macklemore. Macklemore was the next big thing.
Macklemore was signed to a major label
after the fact.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
He was an independent artist. He was an independent artist who released the record that got picked up by a label.
Then that doesn't count. He went with a label. How does that count?
Because he created that album on his own, and everything was independent. Very similar to what Chance does, except Chance never actually got to distribution. He decided to sign on for distribution.
Okay, well then he's out of it too. You're talking about guys that made it independently and then signed. So they did what the record labels wanted them to do. They don't count. I'm talking about a guy that becomes rich, that gains power, that is a known person and is not connected to any label at all. Look at Avalanche.
Okay, so if there was this conspiracy, then Chance would have been assassinated.
Well, period. And that's the thing. I think the conspiracy is they're not going to kill everybody. They're not going to kill everybody. Some people are going to make it. Otherwise, it's not going to look like a conspiracy.
But to understand the gangster aspect of it, you have to make a statement. Why are you popping off little fish when if you take the head off the snake will crumble?
Because everybody will be onto it then. And I never say anything about gangster. I'm talking about a lot of artists that got arrested for crimes and got hemmed up.
Because they're committing crimes. These artists are committing crimes.
Not everybody. Okay, what about it? Perfect example. Did he commit a crime? That's debatable. But I don't think he committed a crime.
Who?
He fucking put out a diss song. Perfect example of a guy.
And charges were brought up against him. But charges were brought. The labels didn't bring charges against him.
Yeah, but who's to say the labels aren't involved with that?
Because the label doesn't care about a pissant promoter. The labels don't care about a pissant promoter. It was a pissant promoter that put those charges forward.
And maybe in Avalanche's case, you might be right. But there's plenty of cases out there where people get hemmed up in every possible way possible as soon as they start making money.
Hold on. XXXtentacion raped an underage girl, period. That's on him. He committed a crime.
Okay.
There's no conspiracy.
Fine.
He committed a crime.
And I'm not saying that with him there was a conspiracy. I did use his name because he was killed. But again, I'm not saying everybody is part of this conspiracy. But there are artists, and not even just in hip-hop, there's artists all over the fucking country, in all different genres, in Canada, in Mexico, in Europe, that get hemmed up because apparently they have bad luck. And I put that in quotes, with my fingers, like bad luck. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I think, and honestly, I've been arrested myself. And I wouldn't necessarily say that who I am, it didn't play a role in that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into all into my charges from before, but my name rings out locally around here. I got arrested. I don't want to talk about all details on the air. It's not about me, but I'm using myself as an example. I'm using and Chris. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to punch Chris in the face because he's Chris, but he's Chris, and I can't punch him in the face.
Oh, I always want to punch you in the face.
I always want to punch you in the face. Always. But my point is, it just seems like when you connect the dots, and I'm going only in the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, there just seems to be a lot.
2 to 3 years, there's been a lot of criminals who stumbled into stupidity, and that stupidity got them somewhat famous. And because of that, they're still criminals, and they got arrested. Or they were doing some dumb shit, and they got killed. Not because they were famous, because they were stupid. We need to stop making stupid people famous.
Yeah, that is
okay. True. So are you under the belief, and I figured you would be, which is why I was happy to debate this with you, but are you under the belief that there is no conspiracy at all, no chance whatsoever? Or are you under the belief that maybe in some situations there is, or, and I know you're not this, are you under the belief that there is a conspiracy? Point out. What is your feeling if you were going to pick one?
My feelings are nobody on that list is actually important enough. That's
what makes them independent artists. They're not signed to labels, and they're getting money.
But they're not making that type of money. They're making okay money, but they're not making shake the label type of money.
They're making okay money. Good.
Hold on. If it was going to be,
I'm sorry.
I know, I got you. If they were going to do that, and it would be people that are independent, that are making big waves and making it possible for all the littler people to make okay money. So if this was a conspiracy, Chance would have been taken out. Period. He is the only one.
I don't think Chance, not everybody's going to get taken out. I think that they're taking out these little
the guy who actually did it.
Get big. If a Chance the Rapper didn't get as famous as he did, or a Hobson's a perfect example, because Hobson was under an independent label, under the wife of a very famous MC, got out of it, started his own shit, blew up. Okay?
Right.
Now everybody knows who Hobson is. Let me ask you this. If Hobson didn't do that, do you think as many people would think it would be possible to do what he did? Probably not. But they saw a guy like Hobson do that, and now they're starting to do the same. People like the Hobsons, the Tech Nines,
then Hobson, Tech Nine, and Chance would be the target. You want to make a statement.
Because they can't get the people that go out that do it right away. They just got to stop the wave from going more. That's like fucking a person fucks a fucking caterpillar or a monkey or whatever it was that created the AIDS, right? Brought the AIDS into the country, right? What are they going to do? They didn't have to fucking kill the monkey. They're not going to kill the guy. It's already here. It already happens. So now everybody's getting infected. What are they going to do? They can't just kill everybody. But my point is they didn't nip it in the bud right away. It wasn't nipped in the bud.
I think we have a caller. And let's get the caller's opinion. And I will report afterwards.
You bring the caller, and then we don't have a caller. Yes, we do. We do have a caller. But I'm just curious. Like you threw me off with the caller. Let's get the caller's opinion.
Right.
Bring him in.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, caller.
Mike, you're on two Darbarians.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call, guys. I was hoping to talk to you guys about the Jussie Smollett case, but on your point about this debate between independent artists, at the end of the day, it just comes down to how you promote yourself. In this day and age when you got YouTube, Twitter, and all these social media platforms, if you're a good enough artist and you know how to market yourself, you can get attention and come up. The problem is you can't have a million independent artists. It just doesn't work that way. So at the end of the day, guys who are talented enough to do it, they can do it. I mean, I remember if you go back all the way in the early 2000s, remember 50 Cent before he signed with Interscope and Aftermath and all that. What did he do? He basically went out and dropped a bunch of underground mixtapes in New York, created a buzz in New York City, eventually got the attention of Eminem, and then from there he got signed. So people have been doing it before there was social media, so it's even easier now because you got all these platforms. So, so just at the end of the day, if you have the talent and you have the ability and you can brand yourself, then do it. Otherwise, if you're not good enough, don't hide behind the excuse of, oh, it's because there's a conspiracy against independent artists. Maybe it's just that people don't like what you're doing.
Bam.
Well, I'm thinking of it more along the lines of not what any one person's thought of is with it. I'm thinking it just seems there's a lot of these independent artists going down very quickly.
Yeah, because they're a lot of these artists are supplementing their income doing shady shit.
Right.
But not everybody. Not everybody that went down has done that. Not everybody. And it just seems interesting. And you can use the excuse of what you just said, Easy, to compensate the fact that these people are going down. That makes the conspiracy hidden even better. Now,
or there's no conspiracy because none of these artists have made a big enough wave. If they were going to use their clout, and I use the record labels, and if they were going to use their clout, it would be somebody important. And then they would actually they would buy out their back catalog and they would make money off of it.
Okay.
That's the truth of the matter.